Hey everyone, today I wanted to refresh my existing crafting guide to reflect some of the minor recent changes that launched with Lightfall, and I figured while I was at it, I'd show you how to craft all the available weapons so far in Lightfall. First, let's go over what you'll need to do to unlock the ability to craft. You'll need to complete the first mission of the Witch Queen campaign to unlock the Relic at the Enclave on Mars. And that's it. Once you go through the crafting tutorial and craft your Enigma Glaive, you now have unlocked the ability to start crafting. This Enclave location is your crafting station. Anything crafting related is done right here. So you've got the ability to craft, but all you're seeing is pattern not yet unlocked on all the crafting options and are probably wondering what patterns even are and how you're supposed to get them. Long story short, you've got to hunt down a certain amount of deep sight versions of that weapon to unlock its pattern or blueprint. To see exactly how many deep sight versions you'll need to unlock a particular weapon's pattern, you'll need to visit the Collections tab and check the Patterns and Catalysts area. This is a full library of every weapon that is craftable in the game, but keep in mind your screen might not look the same as mine since some of these weapons are not available anymore. So back on topic. How do you find deep sight versions of these craftable weapons? Well, every time one of these craftable weapons drops, they've got about a 10 to 15% chance at being a deep sight weapon. Deep sight weapons have a red border around them, making them very easy to spot. To extract that deep sight energy from the weapon, you'll need to inspect it and hover over the relic icon that it has and collect the progress. Almost every craftable weapon in the game will require 5 deep sights collected to complete the pattern, but there are a few exceptions that require less, and once you obtain that pattern, you'll have it forever. So for example, I can still craft weapons for patterns that I unlocked last year, even though the patterns aren't currently available in the game anymore. It's pretty cool. Okay, so now that you know how to get the patterns completed, maybe you've completed a few, what do you do now? You can visit the Enclave and head back to the Relic, since that's your crafting station. In case you need a quick refresher, the shape option essentially means craft and reshape means recraft. So obviously choose the shape option to start crafting your weapon. When you're first crafting a weapon, your weapon will always be level 1, so you'll see a bunch of locked options off the bat. Since you've got limited choice on what traits you can equip at level 1, just throw on whatever works for you right now, because you'll be returning later with that weapon leveled up a bit so you can add the traits that you want. And you can reshape your weapon anytime you want and as many times as you want as well, so don't feel like if you add the wrong trait on accident, you've just ruined your weapon. It's no worries. However, material costs to fix any mistakes can be costly, so keep that in mind. Okay, moving on. All legendary crafted weapons will have the same structure when crafting them. You've got an intrinsic frame, a barrel, magazine, 2 traits, and a memento. Let's cover what everything is here really quick. The intrinsic frame basically does nothing at level 1, but you can equip an enhanced intrinsic as you level the weapon up. These enhanced intrinsics will give a plus 10 stat boost to whatever option you choose. They are pretty expensive to equip. 40,000 glimmer, 27 legendary shards, 17 enhancement cores, and 20 resonant or harmonic alloy. Resonant alloy is simply acquired from dismantling a non-raid legendary weapon, and harmonic alloy is acquired from dismantling a raid weapon. It's pretty straightforward. The barrel and magazine will essentially be what alters the weapon's stats, which are listed at the bottom. They are super cheap to add, only costing 2,500 glimmer. And the traits are definitely the most important part that you'll really want to pay attention to when crafting. Don't just randomly throw stuff on here, because this is what makes the gun unique. The regular trait options are not too expensive. They only cost 10,000 glimmer and 3 enhancement cores, but once you reach the higher levels, you'll have the option to add enhanced versions of the regular traits to your weapon. They are way more expensive than the regular traits. They cost 25 legendary shards, 15,000 glimmer, 2 enhancement prisms, and 1 ascendant alloy. Ascendant alloy are a very rare material that can be found by doing a few select activities. As the game stands now, the only way to obtain them is to run the weekly missions for Witch Queen or Lightfall, unlock 2 from the battle pass, and purchase 1 from Rahul once per week for 400 legendary shards. More methods will most likely be added throughout the year, kind of like how they did last year, but for now, this is all we've got. So are enhanced traits always worth it? Definitely not. I'll leave it up to you to decide which option is best for you, but out of habit, I personally add them on every crafted weapon I use, mainly because I just can't stand knowing that there's a slightly better option out there for me. I just always have to have the enhanced traits. There is also the added benefit of masterworking the weapon, which is partially done by adding these enhanced traits. Fully masterworking a crafted weapon is done by adding 2 enhanced traits an enhanced intrinsic, and also getting the weapon to level 20. So once you do all this, you'll get a +2 stat bump to every stat on the weapon. Not a lot of people know that because visually the weapon will appear as a masterworked weapon with a gold border around it once you add the enhanced traits. It doesn't have to be level 20 to get that gold appearance, which can be really confusing. The too long didn't read is add an enhanced intrinsic, 2 enhanced traits, and get that weapon to level 20 to get the strongest version of the weapon. And finally, we'll end up with mementos. This is mainly just a vanity cosmetic that you can add to it. You get your weapon a title and you unlock a custom skin for it at level 30. Other than that, it's really just a visual thing. Let's talk a little bit about what weapons you can craft right now as the game stands. We've first got 5 out of the 8 Neomuna weapons: the Dimensional Hypotrochoid, the Stasis Grenade Launcher, Heavy Grenade Launcher, the Iterative Loop Arc Fusion Rifle, the Philotactic Spiral Arc Pulse Rifle, the Round Robin Strand Hand Cannon, the Volta Bracket Strand Sniper Rifle, and the other 3 Neomuna weapons are currently not craftable. Not sure if that will change in the future, but yeah, this is what we've got so far. There are a few cheeses in the game as for how to get these patterns really quickly, but that will most likely be patched at some point in the future, so keep that in mind. If it's not relevant anymore, sorry. Okay, so getting these patterns, what do you need to do? Well, you get 1 deep sight for each weapon from Nimbus as a reward as you do the campaign. And yes, you can run it on all 3 characters to get a deep sight every time. So you get 3 out of 5 for each one of these weapons just by doing the campaign. You'll also have a chance to get 1 from engrams rewarded to you by ranking up Nimbus. And finally, you can run Terminal Overload and complete heroic patrols to also get deep sights. So quite a few ways. Keep in mind that the Terminal Overload chest that requires a key will only get you the Terminal Overload specific weapons, which are not craftable. However, the free chest can give you all of the other Neomuna weapons that can be crafted. The cheese here is to collect the loot from the chest, sparrow out of the area until you see you've loaded into a new zone, then turn around and open up the chest again. And if you're really efficient, you can do this 3 times per chest. That's how it works now. If it doesn't work in the future, again, I'm sorry. For heroic patrols, you just need to look for a gold patrol marker and start it. These are super easy to complete and can be done while doing Terminal Overload. Next, we've also got some crafted weapons for Season 20. The Queen weapon set. We have Regent, the Void Grenade Launcher, Perpetualis, the Strand Auto Rifle, Caretaker, the Solar Sword, Royal Executioner, the Solar Fusion Rifle, Prodigal Return, the Arc Grenade Launcher, and Raconteur, the Precision Kinetic Bow. There are also a few more opulent weapons that got randomly added as well. You've got the Imperial Decree Kinetic Shotgun and a sword for each class: Gold Tusk, Death's Razor, and Throne Cleaver. All 3 swords are craftable, by the way. Obtaining patterns with these weapons is best done by running Defiant Battlegrounds to get Defiant engrams, then decrypting those Defiant engrams into the weapons that you want at the war table at the helm. And of course, you also have a shot at getting a Red Border Queen weapon by just running Defiant Battlegrounds as well. Just make sure to use your war table upgrades on the Defiant Vestment section to really up the amount of guaranteed red borders that you can get per week. And that's going to be the story for any future seasonal crafted weapons as well. For the rest of this year, each season we will get a new area in the helm that will give us a new set of weapons to craft, along, of course, with a new activity to run. And finally, we've got the raid weapons. Check out my guide for everything that you need to know on raid weapon crafting here, but it won't have the new Root of Nightmares raid that drops this Friday. Root of Nightmares is confirmed to have a brand new set of weapons to craft, and I'm 99% sure the system will be the exact same as other raids that have craftable weapons. Each encounter will give you a chance at getting a weapon, which can be a deep sight weapon. We'll probably have a chest at the end where we can pick out a deep sight weapon of our choice as long as we found one of that weapon before, and also a secret raid puzzle that will give us a guaranteed random red border at the end, but we'll have to wait and see. And that is everything that you need to know about crafting in Lightfall. I hope that this video was helpful. The changes that they've made were for the best, and I didn't include what changed just to avoid any confusion. But as always, a lot more videos on the way. I hope you all enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next video.